Welcome back to Primetime Sports Monday. Cricket is where we're starting, as months before the start of the ICC Cricket World Cup in England and Wales, the West Indies are on the hunt for a new head coach after Australian Stuart Law announced he will step away from his head coaching role with the men's team 1 month early. Renata Brown reports.
Less than 2 years after taking up the post to coach a Caribbean side, the Australian-born Stuart Law has decided to leave the Windies after their tour of India and Bangladesh. Law took up the post in February 2017 after the regional board parted ways with Phil Simmons in September 2016. But with the World Cup months away, why now? A release from Cricket West Indies says Law will take up a post with English county team Middlesex in order to be closer to his family. Cricket analyst Dr. Akshay Mansingh gives his perspective.
Well, I think the bad timing is more because we were losing yet another coach. It's been a sort of almost a seesaw when it comes to one coach from the Caribbean, one coach from outside the Caribbean. It's just been going on too often. It's not good for stability of a team. And Stuart Law, I thought, had come with that sort of hard ethic, which was, treat the players hard, but also deal with everybody else pretty strongly. And I think he'd earned the respect of the players. And it's a bit sad to see him go.
Writer from ESPN Cricket Info Colin Benjamin is one person who is not unhappy to see the back of Law.
I never supported his appointment. I don't think he brought anything special to the team after we got rid of Phil Simmons. That's not to say he's a bad coach. He may very well be a good coach in Middlesex or in other coaching jobs he may have in the future. So I don't see this as a crisis in that we're losing a good coach, as was the case when Phil Simmons was removed.
But with the World Cup not too far away, where will Cricket West Indies start their search for a new coach?
Well, I think we need to find the right coach. And whether that right coach is international, local, doesn't really matter to me. But clearly, I think now you're going to be looking at an interim coach, because as you mentioned, the World Cup is coming up. And it's going to be very difficult to sort of bring in somebody and install them in this job and get them up and going. So you may find that there'll be an interim coach. Now, let's look back at the A-team. Floyd Reefer did very well as the A-team coach when the English toured the Caribbean. And he would be one person who's in contention. Of course, Richard Pybus, who's come back to the Caribbean, went as the, technical director to England with that same A-team.
Given the world of T20 cricket, I don't know if there's a coach out there internationally who would want to give up the freedom of movement to relocate to the Caribbean and deal with the West Indies team right now. I just don't see it. That's why I'll go back to Phil Simmons. That was a person who had built a strong reputation around the world and was willing to come home.
Law becomes the third Australian to step away from the post of West Indies coach. Bennett King stepped down after the 2007 World Cup after being in the role for 2 years. Countryman John Dyson, his successor, too was in the role for 2 years before the then West Indies Cricket Board sacked him in August 2009. Law's contract was set to end in February 2019, just 3 months before the World Cup, which begins on May 30. Renata Brown for TVJ Sports.